Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra!
Hey guys, and welcome to What If Naruto was the reincarnation of Yujiro Hanma. Now we left off with Naruto and Sasuke getting into a heated standoff with each other. Now these two would be in proximity with each other, just staring at each other with malicious intent. They are in this to fight to the death if it comes that far, if it goes that far. Now Sakura sees this and Naruto glances over to her and he tells her, "Listen, Sakura, and I will only say this once. Do not, and I repeat, do not intervene in this battle. Do not get in the way. Do not run up and do some stupid thing like I think you're gonna do. If this battle comes to a point where me and Sasuke are charging the final blow, your being, your personality, everything about you would be gone in a mere second, as you would be dead and basically forgotten from this world. Do you want that?" As Naruto is looking at Sakura and she says, "No." Then back away. As Sakura will back further away from the battle to keep an eye on Sasuke and Naruto, because she wants to see this for her own eyes. The strength of Naruto versus the strength of Sasuke. These two would get engaged in battle, with Sasuke throwing kicks and punches at Naruto, with Naruto basically blocking some of them. Now Naruto would get punched in the nose, and this is where he would feel the fruits of Sasuke's training. Naruto would get sent back and he would get tumbling on the terrain, with Naruto standing back up and looking at Sasuke as Sasuke has his 3 Tomoe Sharingan active. Now Sasuke is right in Naruto's face as he delivers a front kick to Naruto's chest and slamming Naruto on the ground. Now Naruto gets back up and this is where Naruto smiles. As Sasuke comes right in front of Naruto again, Naruto delivers a strong blow to Sasuke's stomach, sending him flying through trees. Now Naruto's right behind Sasuke and he sends a knee to his back, and then he punches Sasuke to the ground, grabbing his face and then throwing Sasuke through a whole bunch of trees. Now Naruto will be right behind Sasuke again, and this is where Naruto would do a back kick and kick Sasuke into the terrain. And this is where Naruto would grab Sasuke's leg and start spinning him around, sort of like nunchucks. Now Naruto is ragdolling Sasuke around. He's spinning Sasuke like nunchucks. I don't know if you've seen the Baki anime, but this is where he's just toying with Sasuke like that, sending Sasuke through his arms and all like that. It's just, I don't know how Yujiro did that shit in the comic book, but it looked funny as fuck. Just go to read the manga and you would see what I'm talking about. Now this is where Naruto would throw Sasuke, and this is where Sasuke would land on the ground, but he would land back on his feet, and he would say, "Jesus Christ, that was scary." And this is where Sasuke would tap his face and he would look at Naruto and he would show something to Naruto. And this is where Naruto would just grin on his face and say, "What the hell is that supposed to be?" This is what Sasuke would say, "Well, through that whole scuffle, I managed to basically tie this whole knot. Here, you can have it." As Naruto flicks it over, as Sasuke flicks it over to Naruto, Naruto catches it and sees it in his hand and say, "So you managed to do this while I was flipping you around like that?" This is what Sasuke would say yes. Now, as they're two talking, this is where they let off a laugh at what just happened. Just let off a laugh, and then both of them then stop smiling, stop laughing, and charge at each other again. This is where we see a collision of both their fists hitting each other, and the shockwave from that would be powerful, as it would nearly destroy some of the trees or like crack and make a crater into the ground. Not a huge crater, but it would just be big enough to show the impact from the both of them punching their fists together. Sasuke has a Sharingan glaring at Naruto, and Naruto is just smiling with his eyes red. This is where the Kyuubi is feeding into Naruto's rage. His enjoyment, his excitement from the battle. As the both of them are getting in a fist battle, both of them are fighting. You can feel the pressure, the wind coming from it, as they're basically jumping from one area to another area. One area to another area. Sorry for that little basic stutter. Now Naruto and Sasuke taijutsu skills are incredible, as Sasuke was seen to not even be close to Naruto, not even catching up to Naruto, and Naruto smiles, thinking into his head that this Sasuke has seen me battle. He's seen me take down a lot of Jonin ninja. He's seen me take down people that he has no candle to. I guess this pissed this guy off. I guess this made him mad. I guess this made him train harder to catch up to me. I'm wondering just how interesting this battle could come. As their battle continues on, Sasuke thinks he needs to step this up a bit. So Sasuke kicks Naruto to the ground, and this is where Sasuke starts to move very faster. He's starting to mimic Rock Lee's motions and zoom like all over Naruto, like zooming very fast. Now, this is where Naruto would get a huge kick to his chest and fly through dozens of trees. Now, Naruto blocked this attack, and he wasn't expecting the heaviness of it, as he thought to himself, Sasuke couldn't have came close to matching Lee's speed, so this should be an easy block, and this would catch Naruto off guard. Now, if you're saying, oh, Yujiro Hanma is not a person who lets his guard down, you remember that whole battle sequence with Yujiro versus Kakukayo, and how Yujiro was running from this man, and at the end of the result, he ended up punching the wall and showed you what Yujiro Hanma was fucking running from? Yeah, something similar to that. Now, Naruto basically regains his bearings and says that attack caught him off guard, but it won't happen again. And this is where Sasuke would come in front of Naruto and switch it up. Now he's resembling Kakashi's posture and kicks Naruto in the face, sending Naruto flying through another dozens of trees. Now, this is where Sasuke would appear right in front of Naruto and punch him directly in the face. And this would end up Naruto going into the ground and carrying it, making a crater. Now, the training field area would be very, very damaged. It would be very damaged. And Sakura would manage to get as far as she could because she sensed she's seeing the upcoming damage. And let's say that something happened to the point where Sasuke came and Naruto caught his foot and punched Sasuke in the jaw, delivering a huge punch, sending Sasuke into the ground. And this is where Sasuke would reverse the attack and pin Naruto down on the ground, similar to how Baki pinned Yujiro in the manga. Ooh, I should have said something about spoilers, but if y'all watching and y'all haven't read that manga, spoilers. Alright, anyway. So, their whole battle would be intense, and Sakura would get knocked out due to the immense pressure. And this is where Naruto would throw Sasuke off of him and kick Sasuke in the chin. And Sasuke's chin would be hit with such force that it would send Sasuke's brain ricocheting all over his skull. Now, Sasuke would have cuffed his hands and tried to block the impact from the kick from Naruto's kick, but the shock from Naruto kicking Sasuke's hands and the upward force from Naruto's kick and Sasuke's hand hitting his chin would send his brain into a frenzy mode. Now, Sasuke is getting punched with a right hook, left hook, uppercut, and then a kick to the stomach, and then some kind of, I don't know what that is that Yujiro Hanma does. It's like he slaps your ears, and basically, so now Sasuke hears ringing. So that's all Sasuke hearing right now. And then subconsciously, Sasuke punches Naruto in the chin, does a huge uppercut. And then when Naruto's feet is just slightly elevated from the ground, he sends a huge kick to Naruto's face, sending him skip rocking across the terrain. Now, Sasuke basically slaps his head as hard as he could and regains his bearings just as much as he could. And then he basically goes onto the ground and coughs up blood. And this is where Sasuke looks at Naruto and smiles and tells him, "Is that all you got?" Now, Naruto is basically bleeding through the nose and out the mouth. And this is where Naruto basically rips off his shirt. And this is where he starts to get serious. Now Naruto rips off his shirt and reveals his demon back, and he looks at Sasuke and he smiles and tells him that this is the most interesting fight that he's had in a while, as not too many people had the strength to stand up to him, and his life was very boring as he beaten a lot of people. He's beaten Kakashi, he's beaten Guy, he's beaten a lot of Orochimaru, even for one. He's beaten that guy twice. Well, not twice. 3 times actually, but that third time he doesn't count since Orochimaru's arms were merely useless. And for obvious reasons, you know the reason. Not the reason that's familiar in canon, but for a different reason that we'll get into later on in the series. Anyway, so without going back in time, let's continue on with Naruto and Sasuke's fight. Now, it's coming to a climax with these two characters as both of them are breathing and printing heavy. Naruto, their battle is going at it with Naruto now having the upper hand with his speed increasing, his strength increasing, his power output increasing. Naruto's eyes is red and he's charging at Sasuke with full throttle and punches like just skip rocking, delivering each and every attack like blindsides, his speed. But Sasuke's, sorry, I had to swallow there. Naruto has gotten faster and a lot faster, and he's delivering some strong ass blows, but Sasuke's keeping up with him due to the fact that he has his three Tomoe Sharingan, because he can see Naruto's movements before they happen, and Sasuke's doing some incredible blocking. Now he's blocking Sasuke from the right. He's blocking Naruto. He's blocking each one of Naruto's attacks. He can perceive where Naruto's coming from. Sorry if I'm blotching names and everything. But he can perceive where Naruto's coming from and is doing good in Sasuke's favor. But Sasuke's getting exhausted. And he wonders how long Naruto can keep up. But the both of them are... Sasuke's not finna throw in a towel because this is a guy that stood in front of him his whole journey. Like, Naruto's been strong, like gifted with power. And Sasuke wants to be strong so he can defeat a similar someone. Now, as their battle is raging on and getting more and more intense, all the like Jonin, Tsunade, Jiraiya, they come in and stop them from their battle as the both of them were getting ready for a final blow. Now, this would frustrate Naruto to a huge level as he would scream at them saying, "Why did you stop the fight? It was getting interesting. It was coming to its climax." And they would say the fight was getting too crazy. We had to intervene. What is going on, you two? This is supposed to be a friendly match. Now, Naruto would slam his foot into the ground as Sasuke would punch the ground with a huge punch, and the both of them would scream out in heavy anger as they would grit their teeth and basically hit the ground again and just stand back up and let out a sigh. And this is where Naruto would say, "Sasuke, next time." And then he would say, "Yeah, Naruto." And they would both walk off. Now, they would ask for some questions as to why these two was fighting so intensely, like they had the intentions to kill each other. And this is where they say, "Don't worry about it," as Naruto and Sasuke both disappear, a body flickering away. Now, this is where Sasuke would pack his bags and everything, and he would head to Tsunade's office, and he would tell Tsunade that he has some kind of family quarrel to happen on. He has someone he needs to meet, and he asks his permission to leave the village. Tsunade remembers that same incident, but Sasuke says, "This is not going... I know what that incident me and Naruto had in the whole training alley. But this is more so for my own experience as I want to train and learn the ways of the ninja world. I'm also just wanting to get out the village and experience what life is outside of this place." And Tsunade grants Sasuke permission. Don't go into further detail of why she would grant Sasuke permission to leave the village, but let's just say she does. So Sasuke would leave the village with his clothes packed and everything, and he wouldn't happen to run into Sakura due to the fact that it's not that later on in series. This is actually Sasuke leaving right after the battle, and it would come to like mid-noon or something like that. Now, Kakashi would approach Sasuke as he's leaving, and he would say, "Where are you going?" And this is where Sasuke would say, "I had got permission from Lady Tsunade to leave the village. I'm going on my own journey and I'm going to train to become stronger to defeat Naruto." This is where Sasuke would turn around and walk away with Kakashi saying, "Wait, they're gonna let you leave?" And this is where Sasuke just kept walking. He would say, "I'll see you around, Kakashi." Now, Sasuke would be at the exit gates, and he would take one final look at Konoha. But then he would see Naruto basically kneeling at the door, and this is when Naruto would say, "So, where are you going?" He would look at Naruto and he would say, "I'm going to train, Naruto. I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to learn how to gain power to beat you. I'm going out to train on my own without the aid of the village, as I've been here long enough and I've gotten as strong as I could here. But I'm wondering what else I can learn. I will be back, and I will be far stronger. It will take me at least 3 years. 3 years, you will see me." And this is where Naruto would say, "In 3 years, I hope you do get strong. Because in those 3 years, I will have gotten far stronger than what I am now." Now, this is where both Sasuke and Naruto does that whole high five each other and say, "I'll see you in 3 years." and then both of them would walk away. And yeah, I'm reminiscing to the tournament when Yujiro and Baki slapped, high-fived. Now, this is where Naruto would commence his training and ask Jiraiya and Kakashi to take him on a 3-year training trip, as he needs to train to prepare for any major threat, such as the Akatsuki or anything that could happen. Naruto wants to be stronger, and he has now a new goal. And his goal is to stay above Sasuke, to stay above anybody. He wants nobody to come up to his power, so he has to train, and he has to train heavily. So now we get into Kakashi and Jiraiya taking Naruto on a 3-year time skip. Now in these 3 years time skip, Sasuke still gets confronted by the whole Sound 14, but Sasuke himself wants to test out the team and see what they're capable of, but he easily dealt with the team, like easily. If you thought like Sasuke was going toe-to-toe with Naruto, so if you thought these four was basically going to overpower him, yeah, none of them has the skills to overpower him, as Taijutsu tried to do that whole flute song jutsu to put him in a dream and stuff like that, and Sasuke broke out of that shit. And Zakan and Ukon tried to do their whole thing, but basically bodied both of them. Jirobo tried to use his pure strength against Sasuke, but easily got knocked out, like uppercutted in the chin and right hooked and kicked to the ground. And who else won't smoke anything? Anyway, Sasuke just standing there in his stance and looking at all of them, and he tells them that this is boring. Lead me to Orochimaru so I can obtain strength. And this is where Sasuke would arrive, and Orochimaru would not be there. Well, he would. He'd still be there. But he'd be in sort of a new type of body. This body would be unique. It would be somewhat prehistoric, as Orochimaru has switched bodies. He's obtained a body, and that body was known as a prehistoric man called Pickle. Now, Orochimaru has killed Pickle and obtained his body. Now, Orochimaru seems huge. When Sasuke gets there, he sees this man, and this man is huge, fit, muscular, and he looks at Orochimaru, Orochimaru looks at Sasuke and says, "Sasuke, so you decide to come to me." Now, this particular guy was never like this. And yes, this pushed Orochimaru to basically jumping in Pickle's body, like taking over Pickle's body. Now he has a whole new body with whole new strength. Sasuke is not his top priority, but he will train Sasuke into getting him stronger and stuff like that. But his top priority is to beat Naruto, as he's taken too many losses. Now, this is basically above everything. As to Orochimaru has still stuck to his experiments and stuff like that, but it took a huge toll to his pride. I mean, it's only so many times to where you can get beaten by the same fucking character. And this is where Orochimaru would just grit his teeth and he would say, well, let the training commence. And he would start training Sasuke, and is Sasuke's training much worse than what it was in the original canon? Now, Sasuke would be battling against this man, and Orochimaru would see the full capabilities of this said caveman, as he can master a lot of things with just seeing it only once. Basically precede people or do their attacks, basically showing them attacks that he just seen you do and basically do it, such as what he did in the manga. Now, Orochimaru would be looking at Sasuke, and he would say, "Sasuke, that's enough for the day." And this would be 1 year of training. Now, the second year of training would be Sasuke basically, I don't know how his whole training arc would go, but Orochimaru wouldn't be there. Now, we'll cut to Naruto basically having his training in his second year, and this is where Orochimaru would confront Naruto in his new body. Now, this character would seem big, and Naruto would smile as he would feel the immense power from this said character. And this is where Orochimaru would have his similar eyes, and Jiraiya knows that's Orochimaru. Kakashi knows that Orochimaru, but this is where Naruto would tell them to listen. Do not interfere with this battle. Do not join in on this battle, as this battle is mine. I think Orochimaru is here for personal reasons. And Orochimaru would clench his fist and charge at Naruto like a primitive beast. And that is where I'm going to end part 7 to What If Naruto Was the Reincarnation of Yujiro Hanma. Now, I'm sorry for the stuttering. I'm sorry for blotching names and everything, but I hope you guys enjoyed this part as you did the others. Now, if you remember, if you want a part 8 to this series, all you have to do is smash that like button, get them likes up there, and I will release a part 8 soon as possible. Anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night.